When a woman ignores you, it can feel confusing, frustrating, and even damaging to your confidence. But what if you could turn the situation around and come out on top? Welcome to our video where we'll teach you exactly how to handle it when it ignores you and, more importantly, how to flip the script to regain control and protect your self-worth. This isn't about being disrespectful or manipulative. It's about understanding human behavior, recognizing your own value, and learning how to respond in a way that commands respect. We'll explore the reasons she might be ignoring you, whether it's intentional or not, and how you can address the situation with confidence and dignity. You'll learn strategies to keep your cool, maintain your emotional balance, and show her that you're not someone to be taken lightly. By the end of this video, you'll have actionable tips that not only help you handle being ignored, but also show her why ignoring you was a mistake in the first place. It's time to redefine the narrative, stand strong, and destroy the ego trip. Stay tuned and take the first step in regaining the upper hand. Understanding the situation. When someone ignores you, it's natural to feel hurt or confused. But when it comes to a woman ignoring you, society tends to add extra layers of expectations and assumptions. The truth is, her silence might feel personal, but it often has little to do with you. Instead of reacting impulsively or letting insecurity dictate your actions, this is an opportunity to grow, reflect, and maintain your composure. Destroying her ego doesn't mean tearing her down or lashing out. Instead, it means disarming the power her silence has over you and reclaiming your emotional balance. It's about rising above the situation with grace and maturity. Here's how you can get there. A woman ignoring you is not about you. First thing you must understand is this fundamental truth. Her silence is not a reflection of your worth. People act the way they do for their own reasons, often rooted in their thoughts and emotions. Perhaps she is dealing with personal challenges, or maybe she's testing the waters to see how you'll respond. Regardless of her reasoning, don't tie her actions to your sense of self. When you separate her behavior from your worth, you take back control over your emotions. You stop allowing someone else's choices to dictate how you see yourself. By staying grounded, you send a message, not to her, but to yourself, that you are in charge of your inner state. The emotional impact. It's worth acknowledging the emotional toll that being ignored can have. Human beings, and men in particular, often seek validation from others, especially those they care about. It's a perfectly natural response. However, her silence can feel like rejection, triggering feelings of inadequacy or confusion. Instead of letting these emotions rule you, take this as a chance to reflect. Ask yourself why her absence affects you so deeply. Is it because you've tied your self-esteem to her attention? Do you feel that her silence confirms hidden fears about yourself? These are hard questions, but honest answers can be empowering. This process isn't about blaming yourself, it's about recognizing and understanding your feelings. When you can acknowledge the emotions without reacting impulsively, you take the first step toward emotional strength. The ability to sit with discomfort without acting on it is a profound sign of maturity. The Stoic perspective. Look to the wisdom of the Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, who famously taught that you cannot control other people's actions, but you can control your reaction to them. This shift in mindset changes everything. Her silence could be rooted in personal struggles or a deliberate attempt to test you. Neither scenario is within your control, yet your response is. By adopting this perspective, you respond not with frustration or desperation, but with calmness and clarity. Think about what the Stoics would do. They wouldn't chase after validation or try to force communication. They would focus on what they can do rather than lament what they can't change. Apply that principle here. Focus on how you want to conduct yourself, with dignity and self-respect as the guiding principles. Building emotional resilience. The most important thing you can do for yourself is to protect your peace. When you respond to being ignored with strength, you send a powerful message, not necessarily to her, but to yourself. You show that you can handle emotional challenges without unraveling. This doesn't mean you shouldn't care for or value her presence in your life. You can feel hurt and still choose to act with grace. Reach out if you feel it's appropriate, but don't beg for an explanation. Your self-worth should never be contingent on someone else's attention. Cultivate your own life, invest in hobbies, nurture your relationships with friends and family, and work toward personal and professional goals that make you feel fulfilled. When your happiness depends on your own actions rather than someone else's behavior, no one can take it away from you. the quiet power of confidence. When you handle her silence with composure and a steady sense of self, you make an impression far more lasting than any aggressive or manipulative reaction could. True confidence doesn't demand attention, it commands respect. Destroying her ego is less about defeating her and more about dissolving the power her actions have over your emotional state. Reclaim your energy and channel it toward your own growth. Show that you value yourself too much to be shaken by temporary silences. The next time someone ignores you, approach it not as a challenge to your worth, but as an opportunity to deepen your emotional resilience. If she chooses to engage again, great. If not, you've still proven to yourself that you can weather the storm with strength and grace. And that's a victory worth celebrating. How to respond. When a woman ignores you, it's easy to feel thrown off balance. You might feel confused, hurt, or even a little frustrated, but before jumping to conclusions or reacting impulsively, pause for a moment. This is a chance to act with grace and introspection rather than emotion. Understanding how to respond when someone withdraws from you requires patience, self-awareness, and most importantly, self-respect. Destroying her ego isn't about retaliating or putting her down. Instead, it's about dissolving the emotional grip her behavior might have on you. It's a call to shift the focus inward and build the resilience you need to respond with dignity and strength. Here's how you can handle the situation thoughtfully. Pause and reflect. The first and most vital step is to pause and take stock of your emotions. When someone ignores you, it can trigger feelings of insecurity and even panic, but resist the urge to respond out of desperation. Acting impulsively in an effort to get her attention often backfires, leaving you feeling worse than before. Instead, take some time to reflect on your feelings. Why does her behavior bother you so much? Is it because you've tied your worth to her reactions, or is it because her silence has made you question yourself? These are uncomfortable but necessary questions to ask. By unpacking your emotions, you'll gain clarity instead of being consumed by confusion. Seeing her withdrawal as a test of your patience and emotional strength can shift the narrative. It's not about winning her attention back, it's about showing yourself that you can handle uncertainty without losing your sense of self. Rather than rushing to act, take this pause as an opportunity to understand yourself better. Acceptance is key. One of the hardest lessons to learn in life is that you cannot control the actions of others. The more you try to force someone's attention or affection, the more it slips away, leaving you feeling helpless. While it's natural to want answers or closure, true strength lies in accepting that her actions are outside your control. Acceptance doesn't mean you're indifferent to what's happening, it simply means you've decided to stop fighting a battle that isn't yours to win. This shift in perspective allows you to protect your energy and focus on what is within your control, like your mindset, personal growth, and emotional peace. Instead of letting her silence consume you, lean into acceptance. Recognize that her withdrawal may have nothing to do with you at all. She could be facing her own challenges or navigating emotions you're unaware of. By choosing acceptance over resistance, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of overthinking and second-guessing. Avoid chasing. One of the most damaging ways to respond to silence is by chasing the other person's attention. When you go out of your way to win her back with excessive communication, gifts, or gestures, it often leads to diminished self-esteem. Chasing makes it seem as though you need her validation to feel whole. And that's not true. Realize that someone else's attention, or lack thereof, doesn't define your value. When you chase after someone who is ignoring you, it shifts the balance of power entirely. Instead of coming across as confident and grounded, you risk appearing overly dependent and needy. If she chooses to reach out again, great. If she doesn't, you've saved yourself the heartache of trying to force something that isn't mutual. Use this time to focus on the other aspects of your life that bring meaning and happiness. Pursue hobbies, build your career, spend time with loved ones, or try something new that energizes you. When you channel your energy into areas that nurture your growth, you create a fuller life that doesn't revolve around one person. Strength in self-reflection. Rather than blaming or fixating on her, turn the lens inward. One of life's most powerful lessons is learning to sit with discomfort and grow from it. Ask yourself whether you're seeking external validation to patch over internal insecurities. Understanding this dynamic is crucial to breaking free from cycles of behavior that leave you vulnerable to others' actions. Instead of defining this moment as her ignoring you, redefine it as an opportunity for self-discovery. Remind yourself of your worth, independent of anyone else's attention. Practice affirmations or journal your thoughts to reconnect with the things that make you proud of who you are. Over time, These small steps will build a greater sense of confidence and inner calm. Confidence without compromise. Confidence is quiet, steady, and unshakable. It isn't loud or forceful, and it certainly doesn't come from seeking someone else's approval. By responding to her silence with grace and composure, you show a level of emotional maturity that demands respect. You don't have to belittle her or play mind games to come out stronger. Sometimes, the most powerful response is no response at all. Resist the need to make her notice you or to win the situation. Instead, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. When you carry yourself with dignity, you not only protect your own peace, but also set a standard for how you expect to be treated. Psychological strategies. Destroying her ego isn't about manipulation or revenge. It's about regaining your sense of control and showing that her actions don't define your worth. These strategies won't just improve how you respond, they'll help you build self-confidence and dignity that will carry through all aspects of your life. Reverse psychology. You might feel the urge to confront her silence by seeking her attention or bending over backward to reestablish the connection. But what if you did the opposite? Reverse psychology is a powerful tool in situations like this. Instead of reacting to her withdrawal with panic or urgency, lean into emotional independence. If she's pulling away, pull away even further. This doesn't mean giving her the cold shoulder or being rude. Instead, it's about focusing on yourself and showing indifference to her lack of attention. When you refuse to react predictably or desperately, it sends a message of strength. By pulling back, you subtly shift the dynamic. She may begin to wonder why you're not chasing her or trying harder to win her back. This sense of curiosity can often spark her interest and lead her to reevaluate her assumptions. More importantly, this approach demonstrates that your confidence and happiness don't hinge on her actions. Reverse psychology is not about being manipulative or playing games. It's rooted in demonstrating that you're emotionally independent. When you prioritize your self-respect and peace over the need to gain someone else's attention, you not only protect your dignity, but also show that you value yourself. Maintain mystery and strength. People are naturally drawn to what they don't fully understand, and women are no exception. When a woman ignores you, one of the worst things you can do is become overly predictable. Complaining, over-explaining, or trying tirelessly to mend things only reinforces her expectation of your behavior. Instead, consider the power of mystery. Women are intuitive, and many expect certain emotional reactions when they pull away. If you act unfazed and calm, it challenges those assumptions. You create an aura of strength that signals you're not easily shaken or influenced by external circumstances. This quiet confidence is far more compelling than any grand gesture or lengthy explanation could be. Maintain mystery by focusing on your own life. Spend time doing things you love, achieving your goals, and becoming the best version of yourself. When you're genuinely immersed in your passions and growth, you show that your world doesn't revolve around her actions. This doesn't mean you're indifferent to her or that you don't care. It means you understand the importance of balance and self-respect. The mystery isn't about shutting her out or playing hard to get. It's about expanding your own world in ways that don't depend on her attention. A person who is secure and steady in themselves is naturally captivating. When you carry yourself with confidence, it naturally shifts the focus off her silence and reinforces your position of strength. The value of emotional independence. Both of these strategies rest on an essential foundation: emotional independence. When you stop seeking someone else's validation to feel worthy, you reclaim your power. Emotional independence isn't about isolation or detachment. It's about finding fulfillment within yourself. Think about what brings you joy and fulfillment outside of your relationship with her. Whether it's hobbies, friendships, family, or career goals, invest in these aspects of your life. When you cultivate a life full of meaning, your happiness becomes something you control, not something that depends on someone else's attention. By practicing reverse psychology and maintaining an air of mystery, you show a quiet kind of confidence that doesn't demand validation. You gain the strength to handle her silence with composure, turning what feels like a rejection into an opportunity for growth. And in doing so, you redefine the relationship dynamic, showing that while you might value her presence, you're more than capable of thriving without it. Focus on self-improvement. Transform pain into progress. Heartache and emotional challenges, as heavy as they feel, have an incredible potential to fuel transformation. The time she spends ignoring you can become an opportunity for self-reflection and personal growth. Step back from the emotional entanglement and ask yourself this crucial question. How can I use this situation to become better, stronger, and more fulfilled? You hold the power to turn this moment into progress. Start by pouring your energy into something you care about. Have you been wanting to get back into shape? Hit the gym and focus on building both your physical and mental endurance. Have there been career goals or creative passions you've set aside? Reignite your dedication to those pursuits. Every time you feel the sting of her withdrawal, redirect that emotion into action. Instead of getting caught up in overthinking, channel those thoughts into something productive. Begin journaling, exploring meditation, or setting new goals for yourself. This transformation isn't just about proving anything to her, it's about proving to yourself that you're capable of turning a challenging experience into lasting growth. When you focus on personal growth, you'll start to see her silence in a different light. It becomes less about what she's doing and more about how you're evolving. Pain, when transformed into progress, becomes the foundation for resilience, self-awareness, and a stronger sense of purpose. High-value men don't sit around waiting for someone else to validate their worth. They understand that their time and energy are precious, and they channel that focus into building a life they're proud of. If her ignoring you has left a void, it's time to fill that space by building your own empire. Ask yourself, what do I want my life to look like? Take the time to envision a future that excites and motivates you. Then, start taking actionable steps to make it happen. Whether it's advancing in your career, starting a new business, or simply building healthier habits, every step you take towards self-discipline and success moves you closer to that vision. Self-discipline is one of the most empowering tools you can develop. It's what allows you to wake up early, stay focused on your goals, and push through challenges with the confidence that you're working towards something meaningful. The more you invest in yourself, the more you'll realize that external validation isn't necessary. The pride you feel in your own progress is reward enough. And here's the beautiful part. When you focus on building your empire, you stop chasing after things or people who don't align with your values. Success, stability, and confidence naturally attract the right kind of attention. You send a clear message, not explicitly, but through your actions, that your life is full, and your thrive is full, and you're thriving regardless of whether she chooses to engage with you or not. Shift energy to yourself. It's easy to get caught up in overanalyzing why she's ignoring you or wondering what you can do to change the situation. But the truth is, trying to solve a problem that isn't yours to fix is draining. Instead of directing all that energy toward her, shift it back to yourself. Think of it this way. Every moment you spend focused on her actions is energy you're not using to grow or achieve your own goals. Take note of where your attention goes throughout the day. Are you replaying conversations in your mind or waiting for her to reach out? If so, make a conscious decision to break that cycle. Start small. Dedicate time each day to activities that bring you joy, fulfillment, or a sense of accomplishment. Rediscover hobbies you once loved but put aside. Spend more time with friends and family who support and uplift you. Take risks, try new things, and allow room for growth. The more energy you redirect toward yourself, the more confident and self-assured you'll become. Over time, her presence or absence will feel less significant. You'll realize that your happiness isn't dependent on someone else's attention. It's something you create and nurture within yourself. This shift isn't about being dismissive or uncaring. It's about defining your worth on your own terms rather than letting someone else's actions influence how you feel about yourself. The power of self-improvement. When you commit to self-improvement, you're not just changing how you respond to her ignoring you. You're shaping a new version of yourself. One that's more resilient, self-disciplined, and fulfilled. Success, progress, and personal growth speak louder than any reaction could. It's important to remember that this isn't about getting her attention. It's about aligning with who you want to be. Whether she chooses to engage again or not, you'll find yourself in a position of strength. You'll no longer feel reliant on someone else's validation because you've built a life filled with meaning and purpose. And if she does come back, she'll see a version of you that's stronger, more confident, and self-assured, one who doesn't need her attention, but values his own peace and progress above all else. The bigger picture. A woman's attention is fleeting. It's crucial to understand that someone else's validation, whether it's from a woman or anyone else, is temporary. People's attention and interest naturally ebb and flow. You might feel truly valued one moment and disregarded the next. While this inconsistency can be frustrating, it also highlights an important truth. External validation isn't something you can rely on. A woman's attention, no matter how appealing or important it feels now, is fleeting. It only holds lasting power if you allow it to define your sense of worth. Imagine continuously chasing after crumbs of approval to feel good about yourself. It's not sustainable, and it overlooks the deeper, long-term fulfillment that comes from within. What truly matters is your own growth and the achievements you create for yourself. These are the things that stand the test of time. They reflect your perseverance, your self-discipline, and your effort to rise above life's challenges. Instead of focusing on whether someone notices your worth, focus on building a life so rich and meaningful that it doesn't depend on recognition from others. Cultivate skills, passions, and accomplishments that no one can take away from you. Your personal growth is yours to keep forever. By choosing to prioritize it above fleeting attention, you empower yourself to live with confidence, purpose, and independence. Rise above the situation. When someone's ignoring you, it's easy to get stuck in a cycle of overthinking. You might replay conversations in your head, search for clues, or wonder what went wrong. But the bigger picture asks something greater of you. Instead of dwelling on her absence, turn inward and create the kind of greatness that makes her presence irrelevant. Build your body by dedicating time and energy to physical fitness and health. Achieving even small fitness goals like starting a workout routine, eating better, or running your first mile boosts your confidence and reinforces your sense of discipline. Use this time to get stronger, healthier, and more self-assured. Sharpen your mind by challenging yourself to learn and grow intellectually. Reading, exploring new ideas, or picking up a skill you've always wanted to master not only enriches your life, but also reinforces your ability to overcome adversity with proactive solutions. Expand your influence by working toward goals that matter to you. From advancing in your career to creating something meaningful, focus on achievements that reflect your gifts and potential. The energy you would have spent wondering about her feelings or actions can instead build a legacy of success. When you rise above a temporary challenge and turn your focus inward, you begin to see how little power her actions have over your future. The life you build for yourself doesn't shrink because of someone's absence. It grows richer, fuller, and more extraordinary with every step forward. Her silence no longer feels significant when you're so busy chasing greatness. Rise above with dignity and purpose, and focus on creating a life so magnificent that setbacks are nothing but tiny bumps in the road. The ultimate goal. At the heart of this entire process is a profound realization. This isn't about her. It's not about changing her mind, gaining her attention, or proving anything to her. It's about you. The ultimate goal is self-mastery, not to impress anyone else, but to live as the most authentic, confident, and capable version of yourself. True greatness comes from understanding and mastering your own mind. It's about knowing your worth is limitless and unshaken by how others view you. When you stop trying to gain validation from others, you begin to create a life on your own terms. This process is a challenge, no doubt. It requires you to reflect on your emotions, face insecurities, and stop looking outward for fulfillment. But the rewards are worth every moment of discomfort because they usher in a version of yourself that is whole, independent, and thriving. Think of self-improvement as an art you refine every day. Build habits that strengthen your body, mind, and spirit. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not those who pull you down. Pursue the things that light you up inside and give you purpose. This isn't about chasing after perfection. It's about steady, consistent progress in the direction of greatness. And here's the most fulfilling part. When you reach a stage where external validation no longer dictates your joy, you'll feel an incredible sense of freedom. You'll realize there's no need to hold on to the actions or opinions of others. They're no longer heavy weights on your shoulders. They're just passing moments in your life.